Hi, Quanisha.
Hi, Miss Estes.
How are you?
Good. How
You're
are
good?
you?
I'm doing good. Okay, so today we're going to do something called goal setting. And it's going to be around NWEA. Do you know when NWEA is coming?
Yes.
When is it?
This year.
When this year?
In like 10 more days.
10 more days. I think you're a little off. I think you guys have like 15 more instructional days, but it's okay. So you've got 15 more days before the test is near. Now, here's why we're having this conversation. I want to talk to you about kind of getting your mind focused around math and reading. So we're going to have a conversation about what your deficits are and what your strengths are, what your goals are, and things of that nature, okay? So let's start with math. Go ahead and put your name at the top of that for me. Okay, so for math, when you took the math in WEA in the winter, do you know what you scored? Do you know what you scored? Did you meet your goal? How do you know if you don't know what you scored? What was your goal?
I think it was. I'm gonna say 216.
216? You're not sure. Okay, so that's a problem. You should know without beyond a shadow of a doubt what your goal is and what your score is. So from this day forward, this is what this is going to help you do, okay? It'll help keep you focused and make you informed about where you are. Okay, so in the winter, actually last spring, you had a 228. Last spring, at the end of school last year, all right? In this winter, when you took it in January, you got a 208. What happened? What happened? This sounds like you did what?
I was not focused.
But what happened to your score?
It went down.
It went down, okay? So I want you to put 208 right here. Okay, 208. Now, I want to talk about where you are. Now, it's not the end of the world. We can get you up. There's some things that we can do, and we're going to talk about those things, okay? We're going to look at what the actual norm is for a sixth grader in math at the end of the year. But first, I want to talk about where you are, 208. Can you find 208 on this chart? Point to it when you find it. Where is 208? Now, can you tell me what grade that is?
Fourth.
Hmm?
Fourth.
Why are you looking like that? What does that mean? What does that mean?
In math, fourth grade.
Yeah, it means you're on a fourth grade level. Now, it's not the end of the world. It's not a good thing, but it's something that we can try to fix. So in math, you're at about the middle of the year as a fourth grader. So if at the middle of the year, a fourth grader would have gotten this, but you're in sixth grade and you got this in the spring. So do you see the problem with that? Yes, absolutely. So now show me, I'm going to show you what sixth graders should have. At the end of the year, you should have a 225. What are your thoughts about that?
I think I can bring it up.
I think you can bring it up too, Quanisha. I really do. And that's why this conversation is so important, to make you aware of what's happening. So what I want you to put here is, when I look at your gap closing, target is 226. So if you can get 226, then you'll exceed your goal. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Your goal, your spring target is 234. Okay, so you've got to get a 234 when you take it later this month, in order to reach your target. So that's even more than the 226. Okay, so what I need you to do is, for your target score, I need you to put 234 right here. So that's what you need to get. Now, in the interest of time, I'm going to go ahead and tell you how many points that is. You actually need 26 more points in order to meet that goal. So just put plus 26 right here is what you need, or wherever you want. I need 26 points to meet my math goal. However you want to make a note of that. So that is what you need in order to meet your math goal. Okay? Now, what are your thoughts right now? Be honest.
I think I was not focused.
I can't hear you.
I think I was not focused for this test.
You weren't focused? Are you reflecting on that right now? And you know for sure that you weren't it's okay. It's going to be all right. Are you sure that you weren't focused? You know that when you think back to the January test that you were not focused? Did you rush through it? Or did you really take your time?
I rushed.
You rushed. Okay. So do you see how problematic that could be? Okay. So now, when you take it again in May for math, you're going to put your score here. And we're going to hope, based on all your hard work you're going to do from this day forward, you get a 234. Okay? Now, after that, did I reach my goal? You'll write yes or no. And if not, how many more points do I need to reach it? And that's what you'll put right here. These spots are the strand scores for each goal strand. So when you finish, there's a big score that you put here for your actual score, overall score, and then there's a score for geometry, a score for measurement and data, number sense and operations, and algebraic thinking. And that's where you put those scores, okay? So now we're going to have a little conversation about a little reflection and an action plan. So it says, I have to take control of my future and destiny in order to become college ready and become a, what do you want to be? An architect. Go ahead and write that. And see, there's a lot of math involved with architect. Architecture. And reading for that matter. Go ahead and write architect.
Is it?
So far, so good. Great job. I. It's an I. T-E-C-T. Good job. All right. Math is, what's one word to describe math for you? And just be honest.
It's not that difficult to me because
I can't hear you, sweetie.
it's not that difficult to me, but it's like a challenge.
Okay, math is a challenge. And the most difficult thing for me right now is what in math?
And from no, that's
Informational text is reading.
I know. I looked at the wrong one.
Are you thinking
I
about?
think it's what's the dot whisker plot thing?
Dot
The
and whisker plots?
histogram.
Histograms? Okay. So you just go ahead and you can put that. Dot plots and whisper. Whisker plots. Dot and whisker plots. And it's good for me to know that so I can kind of think strategically about your compass assignments and any other assignments or extra work I need to help you with, okay? So your focus strand, we're not going to talk about that right now because we would have to say, well, I can tell you what your lowest scoring strand was. Your lowest scoring strand was geometry. So you can put geometry. That is your lowest scoring strand. You got lowest scoring strand. You got a 206 on that. So you want to get some extra practice in geometry. So whenever you get an extra minute at home, at library, compass assignments in geometry, ask your teacher for extra assignments in geometry. And that will help that come up as well, okay, if your teacher hasn't covered it yet. Now, rate your performance in the following areas as on a scale of 1 to 5. Attendance. Or do you miss a lot of days of school? No. So 5 is the highest. So do you think you have perfect attendance? That would be a 5.
No, 4.
A 4? Okay, go ahead and put a 4 there. Okay, behavior. Your eyes just got big. I'm wondering why. 5 would be perfect behavior. And be honest. Be honest, because we're going to work with it. What's your gut reaction? What are you thinking as soon as you... Okay, put it down. And what about homework? On a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the highest, how... 4. Okay. So we see now that behavior could be contributing to your scoring, which also lends to focus in the classroom and during the test, right? So we've got to do something about that behavior, okay? You might need a behavior plan or you might need to rethink your seating, but we've got to become more focused in class, okay? And it says, in order to meet and exceed my target RIT and strand score in the spring, I must
Study, focus, and
go for it, and then you can let me know what you think. Seems like you have a whole lot. Okay, so what do you have to do in order to meet or exceed your score?
study, focus, and make the right choices.
And make the right choices. Excellent job. Now, I want to leave on a high note. I know we just discovered that you're on a 4th grade level in math, but I want you to also think about that this is 6th grade, and if you don't go beyond the 24th percentile, that summer school may be in your future. So I just want to put everything out there for you, okay? Now, the good thing is that you're at the 17th percentile right now. So you need 7 more percentage points to not have to go to summer school. But you have to do that in reading and math. So this is pretty serious, Quanisha. You're in the red. And if you take a look here, when you go up one more page, you're not that far from the yellow. So you're at 17th percentile. You've got to get to the 25th percentile in order to not have to do summer school for math or reading. So that means your plan, the things you've reflected on here, you have got to be true to that plan. Homework, behavior, attendance. Like I see you talking and playing a lot in the halls. That's got to stop, right? So you may have to ask for some flashcards, some math facts on some cards. If whatever you need, you let us know. And that's what you do in the hallway to kind of beef up. And before you know it, with the next 16 or 15 days left, you can be eating away at those points and getting closer and closer to your goal. Okay?
Yes.
How do you feel? Be honest. How do you feel?
Good.
You do? You sure? Was this helpful? This conversation helpful?
Yes.
Why?
Because if I didn't have this conversation, I would not be not be trying at a high school.
You wouldn't be what now?
Trying to get out of school.
Trying to what?
To get a high score.
Okay, so now you are going to try to get a high score. Okay. Thank you. And we'll do reading a little bit later, okay? Alrighty.